Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing the Reader's Habit tag, and I have seen this tag on a number of booktube channels. So I looked it up to see where it came from, and it turns out that it's a tag from 2012 and was started by the Book Jazz. So it's a pretty old tag and I'm excited to participate. So let's get into it. So number one, do you have a certain place at home for reading? And yes, I do. During the day, I like to sit on my balcony to read. If it's not raining, of course, but I'm lucky enough to live in the south of France, so it's usually not a problem. And if it's in the evening, I like to sit on my sofa to read, and if it's before bedtime, I like to read in bed. So number two, bookmark or random piece of paper. And for me, it's a bit of both. I currently only have one proper bookmark, but I'm reading 3 books. So I do have to resort to some other stuff. And currently I'm actually using my library card in one of my books, which is probably not a good idea. I am planning on buying some new bookmarks, but I'm waiting until I find something I really like. I want to feel like, oh, I really need that in my life. So yeah, I'm on the search for some fun new bookmarks. So next question is, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain number of pages? And when I feel like I have to stop reading, I look ahead a bit to see how many pages there are left in a chapter. And if it's not too far away, I try to finish that chapter. That's not always possible. For example, the book I'm currently reading, it is over 450 pages, but there are only 2 chapters, so that's not really possible to finish the chapter. And in that case, I try to find the best place to stop. I do like to finish on nice and even numbers, but if I'm stressed, that's not too important. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? Yes to both of those. I'm always drinking something when I'm reading, and I do often eat as well. I'm someone who likes to snack a lot, maybe too much and too often. So yes, I do eat and drink while reading. Number 5, multitasking, music or TV while reading. Yes and no for me. No to television, but yes to music. I almost always listen to music while I'm reading, and I either listen to Spotify or a radio show. And if it's radio, I only listen to the shows that are focused on music. If they are talking too much, I can't really concentrate. And the type of music I listen to while reading is usually either classical music or some sort of mellow R&B/future R&B. One of my favorite artists to listen to while reading is Sade. Number 6, one book at a time or multiple books at once. For me, it's multiple books at once. I always have one French book going that I use to improve my French vocabulary. And I underline all the words I don't know and I translate them. So that's an ongoing project that I have in the background, sort of on top of all the books that I'm reading more for pleasure. Then I have one slow-paced book going. Usually I read one per month, and those are the books that are slow-paced and are not very plot-driven, but more focused on a character or life's big questions. These are usually books that are not meant to be read fast, but more slowly, so that you have time to reflect on what you're reading and the concepts that are being discussed in the book. Then on top of that, I add the medium and fast-paced books, and they can be pretty much whatever I like them to be. And I find that this organization works very well for me. I can choose something based on the mood I'm in when I want to read, and this way I have a lot of variety and I don't get bored. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. I like both. I do like to read at home, but one of my favorite things is to go to a cafe, read, people watch, and eat something really good. Number 8, reading silently in your head or reading out loud. Usually I read silently in my head, except for sometimes when I read my French books and I want to practice my French pronunciation, then I will read out loud. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? No to both of these. I might sometimes look ahead to see how long a chapter is, but I never read ahead or skip any parts. Number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it as new. I like to keep my books as new as possible for as long as possible, but I'm not too bothered about it. I know that my books will get worn eventually, and I am fine with that. So last but not least, question number 11, do you write in your books? Usually no, but this is not a hard rule for me. I do write in my books when I translate my French books, and maybe sometimes if I would like to really remember something in another book, I would maybe write in it, but that's usually not the case. So thank you so much for watching and see you next time.